What's going on, everyone? Kelly Cavallero here, one half of 7 Air Media, and welcome to today's edition of the Honky Tonk Highway, episode 87. Goodbye, 2020. See ya, sayonara. Get out of here. Little year-end review of everything that's gone on this year, and as we say goodbye, no show tomorrow as I'll be broadcasting the Kings Hill New Year's Eve celebration. Head over, register for that. It's absolutely free over on Zoom. And just a quick question, everybody, as I start the show. Let me know in the comments why you're here. I'm kind of curious what type of audience I have today. As I've been told lately, I attract a different one than others. Apparently, I thought we were discussing line dancing, but apparently I'm told otherwise. What's going on, Miss Nicola? Nicola's joining in. She has no school tomorrow, so she's saying she's up late. We got some of the usual suspects. Claire, Nancy's in here. Pamela, Miss Rona, John Lindsay, Amy Gross, Jamie Whaley. Yes, it has been an exhausting year, sir. We definitely want to get out of it. 2020 can just go bye-bye. The boss is joining me. Miss Cameron is online. I know I was glad when we got a floor gig coming up in April. I'll be glad to see that happens. I was going to call it the Honky Truck Freeway. My first request will be travel JP. Oh, I love it when my buddy has a laugh. Oh, going to be so different from yours. Tons of stuff going on today. I'm curious, what has been your favorite stuff, guys, as we see comments coming in? What has been your favorite episodes this year, your favorite guests, your favorite interviews? I know I have my favorites. Got Matthias joining us from Germany. It's not that bad there. What, 11 o'clock? I think I'm in the right time zone. I always get those time zones mixed up. But, so, what has been your favorites, guys? What has been some of your favorite guests? First of all, let's start with what has been the favorite interview? What has been your favorite interview of that I've done so far? So I'll have some of my own comments on this. I have my favorites that I've done. Steven said my favorite was with that guy Tim Perez. I enjoyed that one. Andy said the choreography challenge was fun. I did enjoy those. Kelly said Paul Linda James and Stacy JW. And Matthias said I'm here for everything line dance related. Very, very nice. Jim, that was definitely one of my favorites. The Michael Burton episode that could easily have gone longer than an hour was definitely mine. Rona K, Robert Royston. Yeah, I enjoyed that one thoroughly. I definitely enjoyed having Royston on to get a whole different perspective on everything dancing. Andy said his was Robert Royston. So, I did say Michael Burton earlier. Jim did put Michael Burton. Carmen says Michael Barr. I don't know why I even went with it. Nicola even says Paul and Stacy were hilarious. You know, I had a hard time keeping up with their costume changes. I did my best. Matthias says Maddie, Robert Royston, and Guyton. I enjoyed all of them. It was hard. It was hard. I was trying to come up with if I could have picked one, and I don't think I could. John says from being out of the loop a bit, hearing from people he doesn't know, like Fred, Darren, and Shane, and the like. And Royston was awesome. Maddie says Paul, Linda, James, and Stacy GW. Andy says shenanigans. Mr. Sack. Don't forget, I believe the plan is still Mr. Sack, my favorite Sack, is going to be joining me on Friday's show. I'll be doing my voting live online for the Crystal Boots. Voting does commence on the 1st at midnight. So voting opens. So you have till the 11th. So you have 10 days to get your votes in. And I'll be doing my voting live on air. And I believe after yesterday's show, Jonathan asked if he could do his as well. And he agreed. So I believe that he's going to be joining me for that. That should be always a fun time when Jonathan's around. I do miss my many times I usually get to see him a year. If I had to limit down one, I love the Victor Livera interview, and the Robert Royston. Those are two of my favorite people. Guyton's I enjoyed, but if I had to probably pick my favorite by far all time, it would probably be Robert Royston so far. Just the amount of knowledge that man has, just the amount of things he's seen, things he's done, the people he knows. The Rob Glover one was amazing. The Madison Glover one was amazing. Brian, I always enjoy a good talk with Brian Barakowskis. Trevor been on, Big Jim, JP. It's been Jonathan said, I guess I have to now. Wish I'd read the nominations before I said that. Well, you have a lot to choose from. It's going to be a tough one. The intermediate one's going to be interesting with the 20. I have a general idea that I know some of them who I want to vote for. But yeah, some of them is going to be, I'm going to have to take some thinking too. Pamela said all the personal segments with the choreographers, getting to know them better. Thank you. I've enjoyed having some of them on. I've got to reconnect with a lot of the people that I haven't got to see. Normally I see 3, 4, 5 times a year. Shane and Fred both been on a couple times. I normally see them a good 5 or 6 times. I've normally seen Daniel once or twice by now. I haven't seen him in person in a year. So it's been fun. Definitely. Oh, and how can we ever forget, and he's been on twice, John Robinson's always a hoot. I could talk to him for hours. John, I could sit there and have hour-long conversations. So maybe I'll be getting some of them back on for part 2s possibly. Carmen also said, I like the uncomfortable topics you talk about. Yeah, what has been your favorite panel topic discussion? What's been your favorite topic, guys, that I've touched on this show? I know there's been a couple of them. Some that we've done 2-parters, some 2-parters I got coming up. Jonathan says, I think some will have to be tactical voting. LOL. There's a possibility. There's always tactics around. Some of them not. The CBAs was good, Maddie said. Yes, I did enjoy yesterday's show. I hope all y'all felt the same. The questions I asked, the questions we talked about. Carmen says about the amount of dances. We've done 2 shows on that. That's been a hoot. I'm definitely thinking about bringing back a 3rd one of those. Jonathan says, Kelly, so many good topics. Sam and Maddie about traveling to events was good. Yeah, that one was fun. When I had Sam and Maddie and who else did I have on? Was on that episode? I had Sam, Maddie, and someone else. We had 4 interviews. And who? Was Chris on that episode? Maddie's like, oh yeah, I was on. Oh no, it was the Rogers sisters. Yes, Maddie just reminded me it was the Rogers sisters. Jacqueline, Jen Rogers, Sam Lewis, and Maddie B were my guests for that one. That was definitely. Claire said the one with Dave, Tim, and Trevor. That was part 2 of the amount of dances being done today. That was a definitely great show. That was a blast having all 3 of them on. The first version of that was JP, Darren, and Fred, which 3 huge names in it. Helen says, hi, Kelly. Looking forward to working you on the CBAs. Yeah, that's going to be a fun time. I'm definitely looking forward to that, guys. If you haven't yet, head over, book your tickets. The 25-pound price ends at midnight tomorrow, January 1st. It goes up by 10 pounds. That's definitely going to be a fun time, 4 days. Probably my favorite week, Maddie. The WDM week was super. I had a blast doing that. That one was definitely a treat. Having Nicholas, Sam, and Connor on, Fred, Jessica, Jenny, and then of course the Shenanigan duo on Friday to end the week was an absolute blast. That entire week. Amy Garrett said, I still want to see the Darren B. Amy choreography challenge. That could be fun, having putting spouses against each other. Elaine says she liked the technology ones, especially how to edit video. Thank you. I did enjoy that. I always love talking technology. Guys, if you have any more technology topics you want me to talk about, I've done ones on Facebook, on live streaming, on video, I've done a couple on music. If you have any more, please let me know. I'll gladly do more. Maddie said, would love to see the UCWDC and WCDF be in the future. Could possibly work on that if I can get some people to come on. That would be fun. I've had already a couple of each from each organization on as guests. Some that have crossed over and been in both. That could be definitely a fun one. So my question is, what more do y'all want to see? We sent out an email to our email list. If you're not on it, head over to our website, sign up for our email list, guys. We've also put a poll. I put a poll up a while back, and asked what you wanted to see more of: interviews, behind the scenes stuff. Maddie says, best of luck with that. I need you to accept the challenge. that could be interesting. A truth or dare one. Britt, that could get dangerous. That could get dangerous if I did a truth or dare episode. But my question is, what more? Who all else would you want to see on? Mind you, I have had some people tell me they aren't interested in coming on for interviews. I've had some people tell me they just don't want to come and talk about themselves, which I respect. They don't want to come on. They don't want to come on. So that's just it, unfortunately. Maddie said she volunteers as tribute for Truth or Dare. That could be dangerous, Maddie. What are we looking forward to also, guys, in 2020? Britt says, I bet you we'd have a lot tune in. We might get a lot of people to tune into an episode like that. I know we had some people tuning in when I challenged the choreographers, and we had them challenged online. So my question is, what else? Who do you want to see interviewed? I've had some names thrown out at me. I've reached out to some people. I will let you know in a little bit as I plan for reaching 100 episodes for my birthday, January 15th. I will be doing a weekend show either this weekend or next, probably next, as I squeeze in the rest of the shows, because I'm not doing a show tomorrow. But next Tuesday, I believe it is the 5th, Brian McWhorter, good old B-Mac, will be my guest on the highway. He will be on joining us for a little talk. Good topic. Steve Bennett, non-dancers that own dance events. Steven, are we talking just about you? Maddie says, I really like the taboo subjects, things that need to be addressed and discussed. I try to push the boundaries. I try to always... I try to ask the important questions, and I've tried. I try to do them with respect. I try to do them with the most respect as possible. I always ask the important questions, though. I get told a lot that if you saw some of the hate notes and some of the hate mail I get after some of my shows or some of my posts, it's funny. Like today. In case anybody saw, I did make a post a little bit ago asking a question, and I asked a question. And the comments came in. The Rachel's already said she's got to go. Once again, I'll catch up later. Hope the boys are doing good, Rach. Huge shout out to Rachel. We got home from Kelly's parents' house, and we had an envelope full of masks that Rachel made with our names on it and our company logo. So huge shout out to Miss McEnany White, who definitely has her hands full over there. I put up a post, I put up a question, and I made a comment. People commented, people made their emojis felt, and then I started getting messages. I got phone calls, I got a couple texts. First off, huge shout out to Mr. Gary O'Reilly, who did give me a phone call. It was very nice of you, sir. That was very enjoyable. But some of the comments that I get, it's hysterically funny if you see some of it, because someone said that I sound insecure by making a post like that. Someone said I tend to touch on the negative things and not the positive. So my question I had to this person was, the funny thing is, that's what gets people's interaction. The post I made today got more interaction than any post Kelly and I have made in the past week. On 7 Media, on either of our personal page, it got more interaction than any other comment we made. And I find it hysterically funny that happened. And they go, it makes me sound insecure. I go, but the sad thing is, that's what the people want. They want the post like that because that's what gets people talking. I will say, funny comment just coming in. Paul Susan Fisk has an interview with Bradley. I might have to reach out to him. That would be fun. Paul says, I think my favorite part was the automatic subtitles trying to figure out what me and Stacey were chatting to you about. That and Trevor. Yes, that was hysterical. That was absolutely hysterical. But I tend to find it funny when people say stuff like that I always focus on the negative. But if you look at all the positive stuff we post, it just gets looked by the wayside. Whatever happened to insert legend's name here? But the funny thing is, I got something got said on that, and the many of comments, but the one that stuck out to me was this. And someone said that we all need to be respectful, and I 100% agree with that. But when the person who made that comment is the same person who called me out publicly on Facebook a couple weeks back, I find that hysterically funny. So I always get told that I talk about the touchy subjects. I talk about the hard ass questions. And I've been doing it since last week of March, first thing of April, since I announced this show. When I announced this show, the point of this show is to be different. The point of this show was to be something that people wanted to do and not get up and learn to dance. I get told that I reach a different audience. Well, I thought I was trying to reach the same audience, and that's line dancers and dancers in general. And if that's not what I'm doing, I apologize. But that was my goal, was to reach people who wanted to learn about line dancing and line dancers in general. So that's what I'm going to continue to do with this show as we keep going. I'm going to ask the hard questions, and I'll continue to get the hate mail. It's great. Like Jonathan says, you talk from the heart, which people like. I do. Well, I get told this all the time, and John Robinson yells at me for this all the time. And Kelly will do the same thing. I wear my heart on my sleeve, guys. I am so passionate about what I do. It's not even funny. I care probably way more than I should. You're absolutely right. I do. I'll be the first to admit it. I care way more than I should. I do. John Lindsay, haters are a measure of success. Kelly just put up something. We try and post positive, but it is real life. We're really going through a lot. People need to stop being keyboard bullies and just support people who have a passion for the same thing. And I did. I try to. That's the thing. We try to. So Wendy just said your show has broadened my knowledge of the line dance community. Keep it going. Thank you so much. You, Rona says you do. You're very sensitive, a remarkable quality. Yeah, and lately it's been. Lately it's got me yelled at, Miss Rona. I do miss you though. But lately it has gotten me. The fact that I am sensitive, that I'm very sensitive, and it's probably because I care too damn much. And I'll be the first to admit, I worked really hard to get what I got. And that's really bad English, but it is true. I worked for many years to get where I am. I busted my rear to get where I am, and I'm still busting my butt to get better. I've tried to improve. The Honky Tonk Highway looks nothing like what it did when I first broadcasted the show. I have live streamed for many years, but that live stream had to be a lot more run and gun because it was at events. The fact that when I sat down and and the other thing, I was never in front of a camera. The fact that I put myself in front of a camera, I stepped up the game. I tried new things. I put my heart and soul into this show, and every other broadcast I do with the people I work with every day. I'm up way too early in the morning because of the different time zone, and I'm up way too late because of my own time zone. But I go nonstop, and it hasn't changed. I still go and give 110% to every broadcast I do, whether it is line dance related or not. Chris says, I love your shows. Their discussions are interesting. Thank you so much, Chris. John Lindsay, this show has definitely brought me back to my line dance roots. John, having you on was a nice blast from the past. It was great. It was absolutely awesome to have you on. Kelly said, we're both sensitive. All we work hard and put our heart in everything we do and our best in what we do. Allison said, I love your show. Keep it going. You've got us through a hard year. Knowledge, fun, laughter, and dance. Thank you so much, Allison. I try. The fact that I've been around a long time has helped. I've been line dancing for over 20 years. It's been fun. It's been great. But I enjoy it, and that's what I was trying to do. Here, Miss Nicola, the matriarch. Let's see if this even fits on the screen. It does. I used to get very frustrated at people copying what we were doing at WDM, and the one day I got told to take it as a massive compliment, as imitation is a serious form of flattery. I try to keep that in mind, but it's still bloody annoying. I get told it all the time. My mentor, and this is hard. The person I listen to the most, and I get messages from, is Brian Barakauskas. The man is a genius, and that's what he tells me. He sent me that message. He sent me that message on my post after I put it up, and like he said, just keep grinding out, and that's what I'm going to do. And it's not. And I've seen people post that saying that the line dance world is big enough for everybody. I get that, and it's not that I'm trying to say people shouldn't do it, but be original, guys. Be original. As my phone is, like I said, I'm still getting, Trevor, you're not chopped liver, brother. You're not chopped liver. As I get messages through, like I said, my phone has been going off nonstop since I make this post. It's kind of funny. But it's hysterical. You're not chopped liver, sir. I always call you a lot too, but when it comes to a lot of the business aspect on the business side, Trevor, I soundboard a lot off you. Me and you have lots of talks about lots of different topics. It's great. Same thing with Big Jim. Those are the two I probably talk to the most about a lot of stuff. But Brian, when it comes to business sense and what a lot of people don't realize, yes, guys, yes, I'm doing this show for fun, but yes, we do run a business. We do. This is an actual business. We have an LLC. We have a website. We are an actual company. We do other things besides line dancing. We do weddings. We do graphic design. We do broadcasting for non-dance related stuff. I've done stuff for Liverpool, the football club. but it's a business. It is an absolute business, and I think that's what a lot of times a lot of people don't see. We run a company every day. We're getting emails about photo shoots, like we went and did a photo shoot this morning. Kelly has a degree in graphic arts and digital design, and in May will be graduating with her master's in social media and marketing management. So we do a lot of stuff that's non-dance related as well. And that's, I think that's what a lot of people don't see. As I got messages coming through, it's funny, and that's why I tell people, I put up what people call it negative post, but that is getting more reaction than a positive post. Like, what's funny thing is we have a mailing list. We've had people cancel our mailing list, asked to be taken off our mailing list for saying Merry Christmas, for saying Happy Easter. We'll send out a look into, like, we sent out a Merry Christmas one. I think we lost 7 people off our mailing list for that one. It's hysterical. It's absolutely hysterical what we go. And like, we went live. This is a funny thing. I know a couple of y'all tuned into it. We randomly went live last Saturday. And it's funny because we went live because we started looking at some analytics stuff, and people were hiding our post. People were hiding all of our posts from 7 Arrow Media. And guys, if you think Facebook doesn't make it where we can see that thing, you're crazy. I can pretty much see everything. I can see, like, when this video is over, I can go to my Facebook analytics and I can see how many people logged in and watched it for 1 second, how many people logged in for 3 seconds, how many people logged in and watched it for 10 seconds, and how many people watched it for the entirety. I can see that. It tells me that. It tells me those numbers. But it also tells me how many people hit it. And we were getting people hiding. We get people hiding posts. We get people think, if you're following and liking a page, why are you hiding the post? That's what I find funny. And Jonathan just put up this, and I'm going to share it, and I'm going to read it. So true. You really think these event directors put up with all that crap not to make a profit just because they love it? It is a business, and the choreographers are moneymakers for the event directors. 100%. Allison, I only know email addresses. I know. She's like, what, people took offense with Merry Christmas? I only know email addresses. The sad thing is I do know a couple people's email addresses that's gone off the list. It's kind of funny. It is. And Nicola just put, there are some that generally do it because we love it. We wouldn't have lasted as long without making a profit as we have with other full-time jobs. So you're absolutely right. There are some, but it cracks me up because, and I'm going to bring up the Florida Line Dance Classic because Jen and Jason did a fabulous job with that, but they got so much crap publicly for hosting an event right now. Guys, I'm going to let you on a little secret. Eventually, hotels are going to stop letting people out of their contracts. I'm going to throw it out there. States are open, at least here in the United States. The United States, there are states open. They're allowed to have groups. You sign a contract based on how many room nights. They don't care where the attendees are coming from. They don't care if you say, oh, my attendees are not from this country. You sign a contract to get this many room nights. The hotels are eventually going to start making people have their events, or they're going to have to buy out their contract. And those prices are hefty. That's why a lot of events don't cancel until right at the last minute. They wait for the state to turn around and say, oh, the state says it. If the state says it, but unfortunately Florida's open. Jen's going to have the event. If we try to have an event tomorrow, this weekend, Jen could have an event. Florida's open. She put all the guys, but she got so much crap for that. Yep, and like Nicholas says, definitely, and so many other issues associated with that. Yes, absolutely. Yes, there are a lot of people that do it as a business. I 100% agree with that. There are tons of people that do this as a business for events, and some do it because they love it. But We are a business. We are a business. I do it because I love it. Um, I still, I put up with a lot because of what I love. Like Pamela says Heart of Texas. I don't know if Heart of Texas, even if they can't get their instructors in, I'm not sure if they're going to be allowed to cancel. Texas is pretty open right now. So, Miss Stacy Percanico joining in. Gary Riley just joined in. I'm going to read this. I'm not going to share it on screen because it's pretty long. Trevor just says a lot of people only see Angry Kelly throwing dance floor. Not realizing the hours of loading, driving, unloading, people canceling on you or saying they'll be late, having to rearrange plans constantly, ballrooms not being ready or prepared, people complain about issues with the floor, not knowing the back pain and aggravation or problems that come with it. So when someone says there's a screw popping out and you just grab a drill and go fix it without a smile or a kind gesture, it's because the aggravation of it, not because you're mean. That was a good one, Trev. That was nice, long, and thought and put out. What I did notice though, and this was I find kind of funny, and I know people go through it all the time because I'll be sitting, and I laughed at this because I was sitting at Windy City a couple years ago, and a couple people came up to me throughout the weekend and telling me there was floor issues. JC Dance Productions didn't do the floor for Windy City, so I wasn't there to do floor. Me and Kelly were only there to do photo and video. But people just came coming up to me, and I would send them to the front desk to get Eve or Mark. It's funny because I sit there and when I do like Marathon, all of Jen's events, Myrtle Beach, all the events we do floor, we constantly are having people come up and saying there's a screw here, screw there, all weekend long. Would you not know, at the Florida Line Dance Classic, once in 4 days, only one. Now, I'm not a genius at all, but something tells me that just, how are we getting them all to come up at normal events, but miraculously none of them came up that weekend? Just going to say, I just find it funny that no one complained about screws. Gary Riley says, thank you for all you've done this year, superstar. Gary, I know you just tuned in, but I did thank you for your phone call. It was very nice and touching, and we had a nice talk earlier. It was great. Trevor said, sorry, my post was delayed. Amy says she's second. Thank you so much, Miss Gross. But it is kind of funny that no one came and complained about dance floor the screws. It was really John Lindsay. The screws are afraid of COVID. That's awesome. That cracks me up. That cracks me up. So, but this year overall, guys, believe it or not, it could have been way worse. 2020 could have been worse. It really could have. You know, yes, we lost people, and that's hard. We have. It has. But and some people made it through 2020 way better than others. But you know what? In all reality, we made it. We survived. We're going into 2021. Terry said everyone was just happy to be dancing. That's my point. And that was my point on that. Everyone was so happy just to be at a dance event that they didn't really care about the screws. It was hysterical. Can't we just be happy about that all the time then? So I'm curious to see when the next event. Let's ignore that call. Apparently another call coming in. Mr. Derek Steele, he said, you've done a great job with everything you've done. You are a trendsetter in your field, and you need to keep continuing to do what you do and inspire everyone else to be better and work harder and create a better dance community for all to enjoy. Thank you so much, Mr. Steele. I've had fun doing it. It's been a blast so far. It was kind of nice being home to get to be able to start this, because normally I wouldn't have probably had the time. And now I will make time to continue it. John Lindsay said appreciation is the biggest gift of 2020. Absolutely. Um, uh, nah. Wait a minute. I'm going to share this. And it's really big, so it probably won't fit. So it says, sorry for changing the subject. But if your post was about Rob Fowler's VTV, I must say, he is the only well-known choreographer who so far shares his knowledge with others who like to develop. If he can make other professional choreographers do the same, I take my hat off. If not, don't complain about the quality of hundreds of new dances. I am going to disagree with you 110%, Nina. Other people, many people, share their knowledge and with others to develop. They just don't do it on a station charging money. I've been coming up and I've been choreographing now more steadily for the last 6 to 7 years. And I talk to many choreographers who help me and help me develop. They just don't do it on VTV. John Robinson, Rachel McEnany White, Fred Whitehouse, Shane McKeever, Trevor Thornton, Niels Poulsen. Niels Poulsen holds a class like this yearly. He holds a workshop weekend to do exactly what Rob does. He talked about it on my interview with him. There are many of people out there that are doing it. They're just not doing it on a platform as like VTV. That's the only difference. And that had nothing to do with what he's doing for choreographers. Was my post. My post was specifically said what it said. But to sit there and say that he is the only person of his caliber to be doing that is a very incorrect statement. Because I've gone and I've got mentoring from many, many A-listers. Darren Bailey, Amy Bailey, Simon Ward, Jose, many of people. And John, I've talked to Scott, Scott Blevins. I can keep naming because people I have talked to about choreography on a regular basis and about how to improve and different techniques. And they mentor people like me. Like Maddie B says, John Robinson. So there are plenty of people out there that are doing it. They're just not doing it on VTV. So there's many of people out there that are doing it. They're just not thing. I've called Gary O'Reilly and asked him after he's judged me before. There's plenty of people. They're just not doing it. They're just not exactly breaking down exactly what he does on his show. Niels does not. I asked him. He answered. I don't give classes around the world. Everybody are not able to get that info in person. Okay, so I named one person that you don't disagree with, but there are workshops at U.S. events on how to choreograph a dance. Just because you're given an entire class, do you really want to? I understand what Rob is doing is great, and don't. Last time we talked about VTV on this show, when I had Dave, Tim, and Trevor on, I made one comment and got blasted, and that was my comment I said earlier. Okay, don't get me wrong. What Rob Fowler is doing is absolutely great and phenomenal. But I don't want to turn around and write a dance and get someone's advice for said dance and then turn around and release it with his name on it, knowing that the world that we are in today, there's a 90% chance that the only reason someone is going to look at it is because of whose name is on it. And I won't do that. Not a single person I've ever asked to help mentor me with a dance has asked me to put their name on it as a co-choreographer. And that's my 2 cents on that. So I apologize, but that's the last time. That's what I got yelled at before for saying. Many other people said it, including people in his class, but yet I got bombarded with it. But your statement was not that. Was not that. Your statement was that Rob is the only person. There's many people that go out there and mentor. and do what Rob's doing. They just don't do it in a class format on TV. So Amy even said, I took a choreography workshop in an event for Max Perry. So yeah, look up John Robinson's taught them. Many people have taught events, and if you reach out and talk to someone, they will help you. They will absolutely help you. I don't know a single person who has said no. I don't want to make that show. I'm not going to bring a show on to have someone walk you through how to make a dance. Rob has a whole channel on that. That's exactly what my post was about. So, but yeah, I agree. I agree with John Lindsay saying appreciation is definitely going to be the thing coming out of 2020. Lee said, going to have to catch up tomorrow. Eyes are shut in. Thanks for the show. Lee, it's still early over there. It's only like 10:45, bro. Come on. So, John Lindsay said, let's see if I can get this up here. So many great people have given so much good advice over the years. Really, most people I've come across are willing to help. Absolutely, and it is. So, it's a great thing. Lee, I've seen I've seen some of your socials. You are not a lightweight, sir. Nice try, brother. So don't forget, guys, tomorrow, speaking of lightweights, we're ringing in the new year twice. Head over to Kings Hill. Head over to, I think it's on Line Dancers page. Register. Come out and join us for the broadcast. Bunch of DJs from Line Dancer Radio. Maggie Gallagher, Ethan Allen's going to be on. Gary O'Reilly is going to be jumping on with us. We're going to ring in the new year twice. We're going to ring in the European New Year with, I believe, Julie Lockton and Fred. And then we're going to be ringing the UK New Year in with Haley. Some special guests throughout the night. It's going to be fun. But and then I'm sure we'll be off somewhere celebrating the East Coast New Year, as I still have 5 more hours. So I get a lot of I get a lot of New Year celebration tomorrow. I'll be celebrating the European one, the UK one, and then the US one. So, yeah, like Kelly says, make sure you join us. It is absolutely free. It is absolutely free. It's being broadcasted over Zoom. We are broadcasting that for them. Awesome to be involved with everybody. Maggie's going to be doing some dancing. I know that. Heather Barton is going to be on. Alexis Strong, Gary, tons of people. Michael and Nick are going to be on. It's going to be a fun evening. Starts at 8 p.m. UK time. And we'll go through about 1 a.m. UK time. So it's about 3 to 8 o'clock here on the East Coast. 12 to 3. So on the West Coast. So feel free to come and join and tune in for that. But I'm looking forward to 2021. I'm looking forward to everyone being back on the dance floor. I'm curious to see when the first one of the new year will be. I know a lot of the ones at the beginning of the year have canceled, so I'm looking forward to that. So it's going to be fun and exciting new year. Hopefully we'll all be dancing again. I see lots of people already getting the vaccine to prepare for the travel. I'm curious to see how that's going to work too, how they're going to make the travel open up. So we should be hopefully events will be happening again soon. Maddie says, fingers crossed for Blackpool. Tim Johnson says, will it be marathon? I'm hoping earlier than that. I know there's a couple that's supposed to happen earlier than that haven't canceled yet. Heart of Texas hasn't canceled yet. That's in April. Line Dancer Spring Break in Myrtle Beach hasn't canceled yet. I know Marathon is technically still on, and like Jonathan just said, Palm Springs, those are both in June. that would be the question. As of right now, Vanessa Hot is still on. I don't think Showdown is going to happen, Amy. I don't think Massachusetts is going to let that happen. I just don't see it happening. And I'm hoping Palm Springs, John, but California's rough. Oh, Carmen just said Portland has it canceled. My question is still on Portland and Heart of Texas are both events that have very heavy international lineups. So I'm hoping, same thing with Palm Springs. I'm just not sure that the events can continue. Tim just said the third vaccine got approved today. That's always a good possible sign. Maddie said, we already have our flights in Airbnb for Blackpool. That's good. I know my Airbnb is already booked, so. Candace says, I'm so ready, but still scared. It's bad news here in Cali. Yeah, Cali's a rough one. Cali's going to be run. Yeah, like Amy says, Portland is Amy and the boys. It's Amy, Darren, and then Niels and the Streamline guys. So 4 out of the 6 right now can't even get here. 4 out of the 6 aren't going to be allowed to travel. And same thing, Heart of Texas. We looked at the lineup a couple weeks ago, and that's just, Raymond, Roy, Rhea, Tina, Rhoda. You got so many people that are not. That's more than half. It's going to be. I'm curious to how those events go. I really am. I'm hoping for them. Don't get me wrong. I am hoping it happens. I really am. Steve just says Cali scares me, and their 2 events are there. Fingers crossed we can hope them. I'm hoping for you, Stevie. Trust me, bro. Jonathan says, I think June to start events. I'm hoping it's before that for a business standpoint, just to get people back out there, and for a more positive standpoint. You have events that are going to be starting to cancel their events at the beginning. You have some people that are going to be canceling their events for 2 years in a row. So that's going to be the rough thing. You got events that are going to be now canceling 2 years in a row. So if Showdown cancels, which I'm having a feeling it's going to be with Massachusetts the way it is, that's going to be 2 years in a row that event cancels. That's hard on an event director. That's hard on an event director. John just says, I think you'll see a lot more local feel-out events until business and travel loosens. I agree with you. That's the thing. That's what's going to make some of these events hard that rely on a very heavy international lineup to draw their attendance. I think. So I think it's going to be a very interesting one. And again, June, both of those events in June have very heavy international influence, both Marathon and Palm Springs. And so let's see how that takes on it. So I know that no matter what, unless it goes really south, Fitz is almost a definite. Fitz is pretty much a definite considering Florida will have events. They're in the chat. They're talking about Blackpool, and Tim's comment just said, "It's the hottest room in the world. COVID can't live in there." That's funny. That's hysterically funny. John just said back in his day, which you're going back in time now, John. You had a bunch of locals and only a few celebs. I think it'll be like that. Probably. There is a good chance of that, but the question is, will that cause people to want to come out and dance? That was my question. That was my question a couple weeks ago. Will that change? Will that have it? Will that cause people to want to come out and dance? And I'm hoping it does. I'm hoping we go back to hoping we can go back to getting at least some normalcy into 2021. So I know I'm looking forward to it. So I think being able to dance should be the draw. I 100% agree on that. I 100% agree on that. I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping I'm hoping that is the case. Maddie just said, I don't care who the instructors are. I am supporting any event. I love that. I absolutely love that attitude. Absolutely love that. So, and guys, the one thing I can't stress enough, go out and vote. Go out and vote for your dances. Go out and vote for the dances that you like. Please, linedancerweb.com. I did a video on how to register. Please go out and vote. I'm not saying stop using cop or not, but make your voice heard, please. That's all I'm going to say. Hope everyone enjoyed the show. Hope everyone enjoyed the year. I know I got on a soapbox there for a minute, but you know what? Hold on. I'm going to actually put this up. Leslie Kidd, I absolutely love what you just wrote. It depends on whether their goal is to dance or rub shoulders with the celebs. A true dancer will just want to dance. I absolutely love that. I'm putting it back up again. That way you can read that again, guys. Absolutely love that. Absolutely love that right now. So. I know I got a little bit on my soapbox for a minute in that show, but guys, Kelly and I really do what we do because we love it. We truly do. And we try to put out the best at all times. And I know sometimes it comes across that all we are is negative, but what I've realized, if I don't ask some of the negative questions and some of the hard-hitting questions, people are losing interest, and people aren't involved, as I say. Trevor's like, did you love that? Or I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that statement. Absolutely. But no show tomorrow. I'm hoping everyone enjoyed the year. Hope everyone has a happy and healthy new year tomorrow night. I will not be doing a Honky Tonk Highway tomorrow. Friday, I will be doing one, and I know it's going to be another touchy show, guys. It was touchy last time I did it, but I will be doing my voting live on air. I'm doing my show, my votes live on air. I said this thing. I don't really get the whole point of why it's got to be anonymous. If it's line dancing. If you want to support somebody, support somebody. If don't. But don't sit there and hide how you feel. So I hope everyone has a great evening tomorrow night. Hope great tonight. Much love from Kelly and I. Guys, see you Friday. Enjoy.